right, ladies and gents, we are live. I told you I was gonna throw it up. Yeah, fuck yeah.
Let me.
I do my shit fast, man.
Where's podcast?
Hold on. You do that shit fast. Kinky.
There's no podcast.
Do you know? Ever since I started talking to you guys, I use the "Are you coming?" Or are you just breathing heavy?
Oh my! That's funny story. That's from my dad.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, you didn't expect that shit. Here we go with content.
Yeah, no. I didn't use that phrase until I started talking to you guys. I'm like, fuck. Of course, that has to be.
Now you use it all the time. Yeah.
Yeah, I said that to my boss, and he's like, "What the fuck did you just say to me?" He's like, "Oh shit." Whoops.
Piggies.
I cannot wait to tell my dad. I cannot wait to tell him.
Piggies. Are you in here?
Yes.
She was just
What?
talking.
No, I mean, are you in? Like, you stream it. Like,
Yes, I'm aware.
goddamn, it says 0 people now.
Scorn, it just turned on.
I know, but I'm in here for like 1.5 minutes. Look, I'm already posting.
Jesus Christ.
This is content.
Good lord, do you
Dun,
want
dun, dun.
do you want
He's
like
such
20?
a needy bitch. Like,
But we love
God.
him.
I'm not needy.
yeah, I beg to differ. Okay.
Oh,
His fucking. Oh my god, bro. His fucking. His tags down here are rage.
so I finally got scorned with one of my insults, and I feel pretty proud about it.
Oh my god, do it again. Do it again.
His nipples are hard thinking about it.
Oh, no, like I was proud of this one. We were talking about making fun of people,
Yeah.
like making friendly jabs towards people. And I was like, yeah, if one of your friends is fat, you say, "Hey, Tony Two Tits, you look like you're pushing up a B cup."
That's good.
Show him you're a tiger. Show him what you can do. The taste of Tony's B cups are great. He'll squeeze out some milk for your cereal too.
I should not have taken a drink. That almost came out my nose.
Better than coming out your tits as a guy.
Oh.
Male lactation still bothers me. It should not be
Ugh.
happening.
Oh, bro, male lactation's weird, man.
If it happens, though, that's a sign you have breast cancer.
It
Ooh.
is.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Guys who have breast cancer, their tits leak.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Non-pregnant women, if their boobs leak at all, like you have to go get checked because you might have breast cancer.
Yeah, boobs aren't really meant to leak.
No.
Boobs really aren't meant to leak, my guy. I didn't know if you knew this or not.
Not when.
I have nipples, Greg. Can you milk me?
One of the best lines in that entire movie.
Yes, and then him milking the cat, like, oh god,
Especially coming from Robert De Niro.
Yeah,
right?
that's why it was so good, man.
The delivery on that was just fantastic.
So what were you saying, man? What the hell were we talking about?
Okay, I was gonna tell a story. So back in I like to call them my apartment days, because those are days I really don't clearly remember for certain reasons. We went to a buddy of
Sobriety.
Oh yeah. Oh, there was no sobriety.
Smoke.
Oh, 3 whole months. Wake up, drink, smoke, go to bed, do it all over again. 3 straight months.
Smoke trees every day.
Yeah.
I wanna get
So,
high.
Me and a buddy of mine went over to our Marine friends that lived right next door. And we're like, yeah, we're going to get shit-faced drunk. We all got shit-faced drunk, but we didn't pass out. We were sitting there just shooting the shit. All of a sudden, my buddy that's been passed out for 10 minutes gets up, walks over to his surround sound speaker system connected to his TV, and just starts pissing on it. Just like, because we were talking and we seen him move. We just thought he forgot something or checking his phone, like he had it plugged in over there. So we're like, all right, that ain't none. So we continue talking and we're just here, like the sound of water hitting the floor. And I was like, no fucking way. I look over and I was like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, I'm taking a piss, man. What the fuck do you need? I'm like, you're pissing on his fucking TV. He's like, no, man, I'm in the fucking bathroom. What are you talking about?
Oh my god.
What
And
the fuck?
he finishes taking a piss, pulls his shorts up, and goes back and lays down. And we're all just looking like, he really just fucking did that.
Okay, but I have stories about my kids sleepwalking like that. My daughter, the one night, Skornered was on with me, and she's just like pacing around, like the middle of my kitchen area. There's like an island, that's literally my bathroom. It's this like little walled-in area. It's this little half bath, and she's like pacing around that area. And all of a sudden, she starts pulling her pants, and I'm like, "Dude, get in the bathroom! Like, what the hell are you doing?" And then like she finally sat down on the toilet. She didn't wake up until I'm like, "What were you doing?" And she like looked at me confused, like, "Where the fuck am I?" Like she didn't know that she came downstairs and was just like walking around.
God,
my
I
God.
really hope my kids don't sleepwalk, because I am very like, if I get woken up out of a dead sleep, I'm swinging.
Oh shit! I almost punched my kid in the face.
I
He
feel like
was
we've all almost
2.
done that at least one point.
Well, he was 2, and I rolled like. I just remember waking up to this face being like an inch from me, and I was gonna punch it, and then I like something in my head said not to. So instead, my axe, I was like tapping him, like, "The fuck is that? The fuck is that?" He's like, "It's your kid." I'm like, "Oh."
He almost caught this fucking Mike Tyson haymaker.
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh." Like, go the fuck to bed! Like, what are you doing? Like, oh my god, it was so funny. Like, I literally contemplated punching my kid in the face because he was like right next to me.
I may have shit in a trash can.
You shit in a
Nice.
trash can?
I need context.
Okay.
Oh God! When I was about, I guess I was like 12, something like that.
Okay.
I was playing around in my room or whatever, and I went down to go to the kitchen, and I stayed home from school because I had like stomach problems that day, and my mom, she was out in the living room with a couple of her girlfriends, inviting the moms over and talking all that shit. And I came down and went to the kitchen, and I think I went down there for like a drink. And while I was in the kitchen, man, my stomach started hurting something fierce. And I was literally about to shit myself. And I had to go something bad. Are y'all still here?
Yeah,
Yes,
listening.
we're
All right.
listening.
I had to go something fierce. And my stomach was doing the bubble guts thing. And I walked halfway out. The door to the kitchen had one of those sliding doors. It didn't have like a door that opened, it had a sliding door. So I slid the door closed, and I looked around, and I was going to go out back and just like shit out back. But then I thought like people would see me, I was like, fuck, I got to take a shit like real bad. Oh God. And I did the bending over thing and the squeezing thing, and it was coming out, bro. It was just like a freight train.
Oh God.
So I looked at the trash can. I looked at the trash can. It was the only thing I could think of. So I plopped my ass on the trash can and aimed for freedom. And I just started saying, I just shit that fucking trash can.
Oh no.
And like, I got done, and I looked around, and I couldn't find nothing to fucking wipe my ass with. So I just used one of my mom's like cheesecloth towels, the things you use for baking. And I wiped my ass with this fucking cheesecloth towel. And I'm trying to like wash it off in the sink, but it's just making it worse. And they're just like, fuck it. I just wanted the whole wet, shitty cheesecloth up, and I threw it in the fucking trash can.
Like that scene from Dumb and Dumber.
Jesus Christ. This is so embarrassing. So,
that's why it's on the Late Show, Bubba.
Fuck. So I put the top back on the trash can. I washed my hands off. I didn't know what the fuck to do. So my plan was whenever they left, I would come down and take out the trash. So I go back upstairs. They're like, job well done. And she didn't even call me downstairs. She just opened the fucking door and came in my room. what the fuck did you do? What the fuck did you do? And I was like, I don't know. What are you talking about? She's like, you know exactly what the fuck I'm talking about. Why did you shit in the garbage can? I was like, Mom, please, hold on, wait. She's like, there's nothing you can say to make this better.
It's like
Apparently, she found out when one of her homegirls went in there and tried to throw something away.
oh no.
And she found the chili cheesecloth. She was like, what the fuck is in your trash can? I can't. Fucking podcast sitting there like, this show is dead.
I am so happy we're doing this. Oh God, I'm in love with this. I am so happy about it.
Warning to parents out there. This is the shit that actually happens.
Yeah. Like you laugh, but it's shit like this that you always got to be preempted for.
Yep.
Oh, have you accidentally ever kicked your kid in the face?
Yeah. Or
So-
like it bumped him into the freaking like you'll be walking and all of a sudden you like hip check him into a wall. You're
Oh
like,
yeah.
my bad.
Yeah, you're like, well, should have been running.
You're fine. This is fine. Don't walk that close to mom's ass. Like it's gonna take you out. Like
See, it was funny. I was sitting there fucking on my phone, and this I think this was when my oldest was about a couple months old, so he was starting to crawl and everything.
yeah.
I wasn't paying attention, and he was just kind of, like doodly doing around the fucking front room. All of a sudden, he chomps down on my big toe. And my instant reaction is to just kick him, and I actually kicked him right in the fucking face.
Don't fight. I mean,
I've done
people
that.
are gonna. All right,
done
so
that to both
people
my
are
kids.
going to react. People are going to react in normal manners. When you get bit, you're gonna swing. It is
Right.
what it is. Like that's instant karma, or instant like, hey, you shouldn't have done that because like anybody getting bit will kick or punch or whatever.
Yeah.
Like that. So no, that's just accurate parenting.
But
So,
I just see a lot of people bitching about parenting as of lately. Like, you're not doing it right, or you're being too aggressive, or you get too lenient. I'm like, I have told my kid when he was 2 years old, fire is hot. It will burn you.
yep.
He did not listen until he put his hand over a flame and it burned him. After that, every time he went, hot, hot.
Mhm.
It's like, yeah,
Yeah, fire's hot. Weird.
it's fucking hot, homeboy.
With my kids, if they try to reach for the stovetop, I smack their hand because that's going to hurt worse than actually getting burned.
Right.
You don't reach for the 400-degree oven door. I'm going to smack your hand because that's going to hurt less than third-degree burns.
Right, and I don't got to listen to you complain about the blisters you have on your hands because you decided to touch the stove.
Exactly. Like, I don't want to go to the hospital for that shit.
Nope, I got better things to do tonight. I don't feel like
Like-
sitting in an ER.
It's interesting, like pediatricians, when you take your kids to the doctor, they are looking for excessive bruising and no bruising. In between is fine. If you don't have any bruises on your child at all, you're neglecting them because you're not letting them play.
What?
Yeah,
Kids are usually going to have bruises. From,
kids are going to have bruises in spots that make
bumping.
sense.
Oh,
Tripping and like kids are clumsy. It is what it is. But if they don't have any bruises at all, they're not running around. They're not playing. They're not having accidents because they're sitting still too long.
No,
That's just as neglectful and abusive as a kid that's covered in bruises.
right. Like my youngest, you would think that this kid, we just like kick him every time. No, kid is just all gas, no brakes.
Oh, that's my daughter. She's
Like-
the one who broke her arm, and yeah.
Yeah, I have seen his face ping off a concrete floor, him look up at me and just be like, "What's up? What's good?" And just keep moving on.
Yep. Kids don't give a fuck.
Oh no.
Like, yeah, they wait till you react. But like him looking at you he's like, how should I feel about this?
Yeah, and I
Oh, I'm fine.
I
I'm
laughed.
fine. Okay.
I laughed at it.
Yeah, if they're really in pain, their laugh will turn to tears. But like if he's fine, he's fine. Like they're looking at your face to react because they're trying to figure out how they should feel.
I felt so bad. So I was over at the wardens with my boys, and my youngest fell off concrete steps.
Oh,
and of course he scraped his forehead, scraped his knee, and he was crying about his knee. I mean, he had a decent size like mark on his head, but he's looking at his knee like, It's like, you're worried about the wrong thing, bro.
Because he could see the blood.
Yeah.
He's worried about what he saw. He saw the blood, and the blood's scary. You know?
I actually have kind of an interesting story about that if anybody wants to hear something ridiculous.
I swear to God, if anybody wants to hear about this another time, I'm going to pee in your Cheerios. I will make it a daily goal of mine to piss in your Cheerios.
He's going to come up like a boogeyman and be like, I'm here to pee in your Cheerios, bitch. No, my last bowl of honey nut. Now it's honey nut piss.
He's going to check his bullets here. Every time he pours one, he's just going to look all around his apartment like, where the fuck is he hiding?
He smells the Cheerios before he eats them every time.
When I was probably 13 or 14, I was running to my bus, and I still have the scar on my hand. I could take a picture and show y'all. I slipped in the schoolyard, and I tried to catch myself from falling. And when I did, I reached out and grabbed a rusty fence, and it sounded like a meat.
Oh, that's squelching noise.
And I opened up my hand pretty good. I knew it happened because I felt the tug, and I felt the sticky warmth. And I didn't look at it. I said, I learned a long time ago, don't look at it. Don't look at it. So I didn't look at it. I just kept my hand away from me. And everybody else was reacting like, oh my fuck, oh Jesus Christ, oh. I just had it out, and I held it above my head. And I remember, I think someone gave me one of their shirts, and I just wrapped a shirt around it, but I didn't look at it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I held it there. I didn't look at it. I got on the bus. They let me drive all the way fucking out to the house. They didn't give a fuck. When I got to the house, I walked inside. Keep in mind that it's like a 5-10 minute drive to the house, man. I still didn't feel anything.
Oh.
My mom took the shirt off, and I looked at it for the first time, and you could see the bone and the tendon.
Oh, God.
And in fact, you know what? While I'm telling the story, I'm going to fucking send you a picture of the scar that's there to this fucking day.
Okay. I'm glad it's just the scar. Oh, thank God.
Yeah,
I don't
have the actual. I'm going to show it to you, and you're not going to really believe that this is it. But
how did you react when you saw it?
Oh my God, bro. It hurts so bad all of a sudden.
So funny. I have a funny story about my brother. We were building that barn that I showed you the other day. And he was at the very, very top, putting on, they were putting on the trusses and stuff. And he had the wood planer resting on his finger. And I guess the blade sliced like an L shape out of his pinky. And the neighbors' dogs were fighting. So that's why my dad was across the yard. And he goes, "Hey, Mom." He's like, What? The dogs are fighting. What do you need? He's like, "I'm bleeding." And his like pinky's like dripping. I've never seen my dad jump so high. Like he jumped like 8 feet off the ground, like up onto this ladder to go get my brother. But like he was so chill about it. He was just like, "I'm bleeding." He didn't start crying until he realized he had to go to the hospital. And the reason he didn't want to go to the hospital was because he didn't think Dad was going to let him work on the barn anymore.
You know, first of all, I posted a pic in NSFW. Y'all can check out.
Oh, okay. All right. That's where it's at.
It's like a 20-year-old, 30-year-old scar at this point. But I mean, that's it right there.
Oh, right there. Oh.
And it actually starts on my wrist. It looks like kind of like a suicide scar. It starts on my wrist, it goes there, and it ended at the tip of my finger, but you can't really see the one
Oh.
on the tip of
Oh,
my
fuck
finger.
me.
Oh.
Yeah, it opened up like a meat zipper.
Ew.
Stop. Okay. We understand. It looks like shit.
Anyway, there is a story that I read. There's a story that I read about there's a guy in the Amazon, and he was with this tribe of people there, and he was doing medical research. And what it was he was doing some research on how they deal with injuries. A child came into the village, and he had a clump of mud over his right hand.
Oh.
And he came in the village, he had this clump of mud over his right hand, and he came up to the doctors and asked for help. So they washed the mud off, and it found out that he had cut his hand off with a machete on accident on a bad swing. And the way that they're taught is to pack it with mud so they don't bleed to death because they don't have like bandages out there.
Mm-hmm.
So he literally had his hand packed in mud on the stump.
Oh my
And
God.
they cleaned all the water, they cleaned all the mud and dirt away, and they put the kid's hand back on. The kid was not crying until they applied the bandages and stitches. The doctor surmised that once the danger had passed, the reflex mechanism of crying in the wild would be not to cry because of the animals that will come and smell the blood, predators, tigers, lions, and shit like that. And they would kill the kid. The reflex action was to not cry, and that's a survival mechanism. Maybe the fact that, us crying or whatever, or us with the pain mechanism, maybe that's a survival instinct, like mechanism.
Animals will cry like babies. I've experienced this where we were fishing, and all of a sudden we hear this like baby crying from like the bushes, like right down the way. We go over there. There's like a frog being eaten by a snake, ass end first, screaming like a crying baby because it got our attention. It was thinking it could get a human's attention to save it.
I've seen some stuff like that with goats. Like whenever they get like stuck in a fence,
Mhm.
they'll literally start screaming like a person screaming for help.
Yep.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It works. Deer do it too. It's
Mhm.
crazy.
Yep.
You ever heard a deer scream podcast?
Yes, I have. It is fucking terrifying.
You ever hit a deer with a baseball?
I mean, I've got a deer before, but
Tell the story. Oh my god, tell the story.
Wait a second. He's never heard it?
I don't think he's heard the baseball bat story.
no, I haven't.
Are you serious? Oh,
Serious as a heart attack, man.
Oh,
Jesus.
I need to get another drink. Go ahead, start telling it. It's funny.
All right. So there's this place called Copper's Cove. And Copper's Cove is a little shit bump town, middle of nowhere down here in Texas. Only thing there is gas stations. Well, in Copper's Cove, there was a homegirl of ours named Skittles, and we were at her fucking house. And everybody was like getting drunk and getting high, just hanging out. We're all like teenagers and shit. And I was getting drunk. They were like smoking, doing whatever, drinking whatever. And we're all hanging out in a room. And the room on the left side had the bed, the right side had like a couch, and in the middle was just like a big window, right?
Okay. All right.
Now they're smoking and blowing the weed out the window so that the parents ain't going to come in and make a big deal about it. And I'm sitting there drinking. We were drinking Drambuie, actually. I had a fine taste in alcohol ever since I was a little kid. And yeah, I knew how to get the shit.
I've had a distinguished palate.
I've had a distinguished palate of alcohol. So you wouldn't put, or we would say, you wouldn't put a donkey in the Kentucky Derby, would you? So, I'm getting drunk, they're getting high, and I am blitzed off my ass, and we're listening to, we're listening to December on the Wisconsin Death Trip album. And we're all just vibing, man. We're chilling. Now, these deer out in Copper's Cove, people would feed them, right? These fucking things were a menace. They would hang out in the street. They didn't give a fuck if there were cars coming. They were a pain in the ass because people would be feeding them and taking care of them, right? So to say these things were tame was a fucking understatement. So we're sitting there and we're having our deal, and it's like 2 o'clock in the morning, man, 1 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And all of a sudden, like, I look over and we're just laughing, chatting, kind of like what we're doing right now. And I look over and a goddamn deer just pokes his fucking head through the open window into the room. And we're like, whoa, what the fuck? And this deer like looks over at me and looks over at them, and I'm like, what the fuck? And they're like, is that fucking real? What the fuck is going on? And I'm like, dude, what the fuck? And I I grab a baseball bat that's sitting in the corner of the room. It's one of those metal, like, aluminum ones. And I'm like, hey, get the fuck out of here. And I kind of shoo at it, and it just like looks at me, right? And I'm like, what the fuck? And she's like, get it the fuck out of here. It's creeping me the fuck out. And I'm like, I don't know what to do. So I just smack it in the fucking face on this bat. And it's like, ping! And this thing, dude, it lets out this fucking sound that I'll never forget. It's like, and it freaks the fuck out, dude. And it's like trying to get his head out of the fucking window, and these horns are all over the fucking wall, and they're wrapping up the curtains. And I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. They're like, oh my god. This thing is like, and it's kicking the fucking wall, and all of a sudden it just yanks the fucking curtain right off the fucking wall and does 100 miles an hour down the fucking street in front of the bar. All we can hear on the way down the street is that curtain rod.
Jesus Christ.
I was like, bro, I gotta go home. Fuck this.
There really are moments where we fight for our spot at the top of the food chain. No, it's moments like that where we really just fight for our spot at the food chain. Because it's like, what am I going to do? Fucking hit it in the head? I don't know what else you want.
I mean, it wouldn't fucking get out. I didn't know what to do. I fucking, this fucking thing was just standing there like, hey, bitch, give me something. And I was like, we ain't got nothing. Get the fuck out of here. And it just wouldn't leave. So I popped it in the face with fucking bats. The only thing I could think of to do.
Oh, deers are definitely nature's retards at some point.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yeah, I just kept thinking for weeks after that out in the wild, there's like a fucking deer with goddamn like a fucking curtain in its antlers running around.
Oh, do you think he bragged about that to the other deer?
Oh, my God. Stay the fuck away from that house, I'm telling you.
What happened? Do you see this curtain? Do you hear the thing that's following me?
You see this fucking... You see this rag that's on my head? This isn't a fucking trophy.
This is
follows me to this day.
This is a reminder.
Oh man, that fucking sound was like a really eerie. Listening to that sound, that curtain rod just dragging behind it all the way down the street.
I think the curtain rod is what would have killed me the most.
God.
I don't know how she explained that to her parents either. I never went back to her house.
Yeah, like how
those deer.
Yeah, like how do you explain that to somebody? Like, yeah, we were just chilling out and a deer fucking popped his head in here. How'd he leave? We hit it in the head with a bat. How did you expect us to handle that situation?
That's one of those things where you make up a well-crafted lie because the truth is so fucking unbelievable that it's not gonna fly. Your parents would be like, I know you're lying. Tell me the truth. Oh, for fuck's sake.
It's like, all right. Yeah, it's like, you know what? We got shit-faced. We broke the curtain rod and we threw it away.
Yeah, we threw it away. That's the simple and easy lie you could go with.
Because you can't tell them like a deer popped his head in, score and hit it with a baseball bat, and then it's running away like that. They're gonna look at you like,
you're on crack. What
were you smoking?
What kind of drugs are you on?
That's the thing. They're gonna be like, oh, well, we're gonna need you to pee in a cup now.
I'd be like, I'm gonna fail, but I swear to God, I'm telling the truth.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
it's two truths and a lie.
All right.
Have you ever played the game? It's great.
Oh, yes, I have. Have you ever almost set a field on fire?
Oh, I have a firecracker story.
Oh, so do I. Let me tell mine first, and then we'll go
ahead.
through that one. So,
Mine has to do with spray adhesive in a Furby.
What the fuck?
I was gonna tell mine, but I'm more intrigued by the spraying adhesive in a Furby.
Oh God.
Picture
Okay,
this.
well let's start with podcast here.
Okay.
So,
Go ahead.
back in my formidable years, I used to live in New Mexico. And I was with my girlfriend at the time. Well, me, her, and a couple of buddies of ours went out in the middle of buttfuck nowhere.
As one does.
As
In the
one does.
Midwest.
And we decided to bring some fireworks with us.
As one does in the Midwest when you're bored.
Exactly. So, me and her are doing the backseat mambo in the bed of our buddy's truck. And
damn.
all of a sudden I hear, pick that fucking thing up right fucking now. I look over. The firework that they had started had tipped over, and it is shooting into a dry ass field. So you have 6 people. One who is just in her underwear, and the other with his dick out.
Oh God.
Yeah, with his dick out, with a pair of steel-toe boots on, trying to stomp out fires in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, God damn it.
So, and they're like trying not to look at me, but make sure I put the fire out. Not look at me, but make sure I put the fire out. And then they all go back to the truck. They're smoking a cigarette. And I'm sitting there on the bed, balls hanging out, ass on it. And my buddy looks over. He's like, will you put on some fucking pants, please?
Bro, if that was a movie scene, if I was a director, I'd have Cotton Eye Joe to that fucking scene right there.
Right. Oh, my God. So many banjos.
Oh God.
We made love in a swamp, and in the distance, I just hear ding, 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 ding.
Oh God. Okay, piggies.
Yes, please. I want to hear the adhesive in a Furby. You have caught my attention.
Spray adhesive with a lighter makes a really good flamethrower. FYI. Things you didn't need to know. We had a Furby that they're so fucking annoying, right?
They're creepy as fuck. They're creepy as fuck.
So when you light them on fire with, a spray adhesive flamethrower.
Jesus Christ, what the fuck?
FYI, kids, we don't condone this.
Their fur.
Do not do this at home. We are trained
off.
retards.
it melts off, and
they
then
look like a skeleton, like the Terminator underneath.
So it must be like polyester or something, because like it melts, and it melts dramatically, and then all of a sudden the plastic under it melts, but it also stays lit. Unexpected firebomb made out of said Furby.
That's how the Third World War is going to start.
Plastic.
Somebody's going to make a Molotov cocktail out of a Furby.
So when you try to stomp it out, it just sticks to your shoes.
Oh, fuck me.
Oh, God.
That was a nightmare to try to put out.
They want fucking revenge.
And then
they
its
understand.
voice, like,
they understand that you tried to kill it.
As it's lighting on fire, it's like, it was like, oh, fucking hell, we raised a demon. What the? Yeah, that's exactly. So,
You went to church that Sunday. You don't even believe in God, but you're like, I need to pray to something.
I need to pray to something, anything.
Just save me from this demonic force that is a fucking burnt up Furby.
Yeah, it was a fucking nightmare to try to, stomp that out, though. I just remember being concerned that the fucking everything was gonna go up in flames. It's in the middle of the woods. We're in the middle of the fucking woods. There's dry leaves and shit everywhere. Bad life choices.
You know what? I'm gonna take back the statement I said prior, where I said deers are nature's retards. Kids in the Midwest are nature's retards. Piggies, do you agree with that?
We're bored. There's nothing to do other than have sex, drink, do drugs, and burn things.
Yep. We find our own entertainment. Sometimes that entertainment is bodily harm.
Backwoods with some fire. We just, pray to God nobody dies.
I may have a story or two about setting fields on fire.
Texas style, or where were you living at the time?
So I was in Texas. I was about 36 years old.
Oh God, ours are like.
My story was when I was like 25, so it's fine.
Oh man, mine was when I was like 16. What the fuck?
Number one, when I tell everybody I'm like a big 9-year-old, like I'm not kidding. I live this life, bro. I am retarded still to this day. So it was about a couple years back, I was like 36, 38 or something. I'm out there for a birthday party at my mom's house. My dad, it was I don't remember where we got all the fireworks from, but a buddy of mine had brought like a $200 worth of fucking firecrackers.
Jesus Christ.
And so he wanted to set them off out of my parents' house because my mom and dad live outside the city limits, and at the time there wasn't a burn ban, so we could do it. So my dad, he used to do demolitions for the military, So he said, hey, I got an idea. How about we wind all that shit on one fuse and fucking set it all off at the same time? Fuck it. Okay. So I'm like, all right, fuck it, let's do it. And he's like, all right. So it'll be a father-son project. My homeboy's like, this is how you guys are going to die. So we're there, and we twisted all the black cat ends together, and we twisted all the other ends for all the shenanigan things together. All the things that had a fucking cable or a cord or a fucking fuse, we twisted it all together. Our plan was to light them in one unison and duck out and run the fuck away. Boy, did none of that shit happen. So we make this fucking, we tried to put them together in an organized fashion. That shit wasn't working. We tried to twist them all together. Some lines were long, some lines were short. It wasn't fucking working. So my dad said, fuck it, let's just pile all this shit up and just set it all on fire. Let's just pile it all up and set it all on fire. Fuck it. I was like, fuck it, let's do it. Hey, Mir Merlongi, what's going on, man? We're telling fucking ridiculous stories. Get ready to hear some retarded shit.
Oh yeah, there is one brain cell being shared between 3 people. And it's fighting for third place.
Picture this. My dad is like 60 years old, and I'm in my 38, 35 or whatever. And we're both bent over this pile of fucking firecrackers. And we have like all this paper everywhere that we're going to light that's been like soaked in gasoline. And
how are you alive?
Wait. So
you can only imagine this gets better.
I light my Zippo, and he's out there playing with one of those fucking long
the long like thing.
Yeah, ones. Yep. And my dad lights it, and he's like, you ready? And before he could finish his statement, oh God, it was slow motion. It looked like a Michael Bay film. It was like, no. And dude, I could see things just blowing up and hitting me in the fucking face. It was just sparking. I just closed my eyes, and I just like hunkered down and put my hands over my face, and I had my hands balled up, and my dad is stumbling backwards with one hand over his face and his other hand out, trying to block fireworks. And I didn't know it, but both of us were on fire.
Jesus.
My shirt and my hair was on fire. His eyebrow, his beard, and his shirt was on fire. We both just like rolled around in the grass, and we caught the grass on fire. And my homeboy came over, he started stomping on my fucking arm and throwing dirt in my face. And I was like, what are you doing? And he was like, stop, your head's on fire. And I was like, the grass is on fire. And I look over and my dad is rolling around and my mom's throwing beer on him. And she's like, put him out. in the end, I burnt off all the hair on my left arm, and I had no hair on my left eyebrow or the left side of my head. My dad burnt off his fucking mustache and his goatee, and he burnt off part of his hair, most of his eyebrows, and he had no hair on his arm. And we were in two perfectly good shirts.
We are not a species meant to survive. We really aren't.
I have another story.
Let's hear it.
Oh, so do I. So do I. Mine involves the police, a whore, and an open field.
Back in the day, still to this day, my friend's pine trees are fucked up because of how high we got this fire. We were burning old couches and jumping over them.
Nice. We going
Jumping
hillbilly
over
to the max.
Sitting in them like we sat in the furniture while it's on fire. We have pictures of us sitting in the furniture while it's on fire. One of my friends jumped over the couch and like came out the other side. The front of his hair and his eyebrows were all curly white, and he stunk of burnt hair, but like they were still there. Like, oh my god, it was so fucking funny. But we would do chimneys. If you take a tube, like a cardboard tube, and you put it over the coals, it burns twice as high as the tube is long. These tubes were 8 feet tall.
Oh shit.
Doesn't it make like a boom tube, like it flames out the top?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Twice as tall as the tube is. So the tubes were 8 feet long. We had flames going 16 feet above that.
Oh my god.
Just whooshing like a goddamn
yeah. What they don't prepare you for in the instructions is that the tube eventually disintegrates and just falls the fuck apart.
Just have all this flaming debris flying around everywhere.
Yeah, so that same bonfire, we did that. We burned furniture to the point where it was so high, the pine trees burned half the pine trees off. Like, the other half is still green and fine to this day, but like, they were like half dead. Like, they burned the branches and turned the pine needles yellow. He had to like chop that half of the tree off on like 5 trees. And those things were like a good 16 feet away from this pit. Yeah, it was nuts. So yeah, that was my teenage years.
So
we got bigger and more adventurous, you know, the older we got.
So when I worked for the state, I worked for a prison, and pretty much everybody knows I used to work for a prison at this point. And I think we just lost our viewer.
That's okay. I didn't like. We're not here for viewers. I just like the story time that's happening with everybody.
Well, yeah, I get it, but I thought it was kind of cool to have someone in here. But anyway, so I worked for this prison, and what happened was they have this vehicle, this patrol. All right, it just rolls around in a car. Okay. And they do what you imagine they're supposed to do. I can't really go into specifics, but, you know, they keep people off the premises.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they don't often put the best and brightest out there. In fact, normally they put the biggest fucking retards on planet Earth out there. So, I was out there on break, me and a couple buddies out in front, and we were, they were smoking cigarettes and shit. We were just hanging out, you know, whatever, on break. And there's this guy out there, this total fucking Nimrod. And we see this, like, when I come back from break, I noticed that there's a car parked out in the field. And when I got back, I told my sergeant, I was like, hey, there's a fucking car just parked out there. And he was like, what? So he calls the security person out there. He says, hey, man, there's a car parked out there. What the fuck's going on? So, all right, I'll go check it. So he goes over there, does whatever, and I'm like, all right, well, fuck this. I'm going back inside. Then I hear the perimeter secure. We're good. All right, fuck it, whatever. He must have told him to get lost or whatever. Fuck it. So a few minutes later, my sergeant's on the radio, and he's like, yeah, I need a lieutenant out here for la la la. We got someone parked in the field out here. Lieutenant's like, we got someone parked in the field. Mo, what the hell are you doing out there? We need what's that person in the field for? Let's go out there and see what's going on. I need all responding staff. So now it's like an issue. Mobile rolls by. He says, "Oh, it's not an issue. There's just someone parked in the field." And they're like, "Well, you got to get him out of here." So a few minutes later, I hear security supervisor, 911 dispatch has been notified. They're sending a unit in route. So now they're sending the cops out. All right. Now keep in mind, Mobile Patrol is out there just driving around in circles. There's a car parked in the fucking field. There's at least 2 lieutenants and a sergeant out there, right? And now you got cops coming.
Okay.
We're like, what in the fuck is going on out there? So I go out, and a couple other people go out because we're all utility, and we can do that without shorting the units. We go out front. We're like, what the fuck is going on, bro? Let me tell you what I saw. The lieutenants and the sergeants rolled up on this car, and it ended up being a prostitute smoking some dude's dong. Right? She had his dingus deep in her throat hole. And they were like, "Hey, ma'am, you're going to have to get the fuck out of here." And the dude thought that they were police. So he jumped out the car and tried to run away. The lieutenant was trying to stop him from running into the woods, from falling into the creek. So this naked asshole is running towards the fucking creek. Naked. Right?
Naked.
Okay.
And he's got this dong swinging around. The lady... I use the term lady. This hoe got out the car and started fighting with my sergeant, who was trying to tell her to get the fuck out of his face. The other lieutenant noticed what I noticed, what everyone else noticed. That car had been parked there so long that the exhaust pipe set the fucking grass on fire behind it.
Oh, no.
So now there is a fucking grass fire in the field. There's my lieutenant trying to stomp it out. There's a whore that's like throwing her hands up in my sergeant's face, and my sergeant's getting in her face. And my lieutenant's chasing a naked guy around in a field of fire. And I'm just like, bro, I'm not going out there. I'm not going out to that.
It appears he's handling it just fine.
Oh, wait, it's worse. Now the fucking cops roll up. So there's fucking cop cars out there. There's a naked guy running around, and it looks like something off of Monty Python, man. It's like, how can this get any fucking worse? The fucking perimeter car rolls by. I swear to God, Buddha, Allah, whatever the fuck you want, bro. This motherfucker rolls by and says, "The perimeter's secure." What fucking world are you in? I swear to God, I worked with these people, man. I worked with these people.
Oh my God.
It always seems like you work with the fucking brightest of the bunch.
Bro, have you seen the things that I post in Discord?
I do. I have seen them, and they disgust me on a new level.
I told you about when they asked me about that person in the parking lot. They were asking me if I had seen this guy, and I was like, I don't know who the fuck this guy is, and they kept asking me about him.
What does he look like?
Yeah, they were like, I got asked one time, have you seen this guy? And I was like, I don't know who that is. And they're like, well, this guy, he works here. And I was like, well, what does he look like? And they were like, oh, well, Steve looks like Steve.
Okay, that's really descriptive.
What the fuck does that even mean?
Does he look like a Steve? Does he have any defining features?
I never found him. I don't know. He could have been a fucking alien with 3 clefts in his earlobe and a fucking tail on his fucking forehead. I don't know what the fuck he looked like. They wouldn't tell me.
Does he have Steve tattooed on his forehead?
I guess so. I never found him, though. I'll tell you that. Yeah, dude. Stupid fucking people, man. Oh my God.
But sometimes they really make the day that much better.
Oh God, I wish that was true. These people just make my day worse every day. It's like, what's that line? Every day I feel like it's the worst day of my life.
Has Podcast seen your new uniforms?
No, I don't want to get in on that. I'm not.
Oh, it'd be so funny to tell the story about your boss. Oh my God.
legalities I can't talk.
Yeah. Oh my god.
That's
So
fine.
funny.
That's fine. That's fine.
I
That's fine.
can tell you a generic. I can tell you something generic. Okay.
All right. All right. Let's hear it.
So my boss is large, like Bam Bam Bigelow big.
That belt's working overtime.
Oh God, you remember the belt that I showed you? It was
Jesus
like
Christ, that fucking thing. That thing needs a Medal of Honor is what it needs.
Size of a
No.
For
snake.
hold on. For people who don't know, this belt was the entire size of a normal door. Like lengthwise, from the bottom of the door to the top of the frame. That's how long it was. That belt worked so much overtime. He was making fuck you money.
So, they gave us some new uniforms recently, right?
Can I
And
send it
all
just to
of our-
podcast so you can see it?
You can send it to podcast. Yeah, I don't mind if he sees it by himself, but like,
Okay.
don't post
Okay,
that
yeah.
shit.
No.
Just don't comment about the color, none of that shit. Just
I know. I Scorn. I
my
understand.
uniform. All of our uniforms are a little bit small. Okay,
Okay.
and mine
Okay.
fits pretty decent. It's a little small, but everyone's is small for right now. It's just what they had on hand. They gave it to us. His is incredibly small. And there was a guy who came up to him in the parking lot and said, "Hey, I see y'all got them uniforms, man. Did you order the wrong size?" And he was like, "What do you mean?" And they asked him. He said, "You look like an adult that." What do you say? He said, "You look like an adult wearing a children's security costume." It's like,
Now
oh,
go look at the picture.
because he did look like that though. But them fucking security, that shit is small though. Mine just fits barely. It barely fits, man.
Okay, give me
It
1
looks
second.
like
I'm
a
pulling.
costume I purchased for my child.
It really does look like
6
something
years
you could
ago.
buy at Walmart, man.
Oh, good lord.
Right?
Oh, good lord. I can only imagine what that guy you work with, how that looks on him.
Oh my god, his fucking vest looks like a bra. It looks like he described it as a halter top. When I relieved him that day, he said, "Yeah, so I'm gonna go home now." And I was like, "You all right, man?" He said, "Oh, I'm gonna go do about 1,000 butterflies and get myself on a salad diet. I feel like I'm wearing a halter top for a teenage girl." He just like trundled off.
Man, that's how, like, if your clothes start to fit like that, that's when you think, oh, okay, maybe I should probably cut back on the late night chocolate syrup drinking.
Oh god.
You guys want to hear about how a guy was drinking Cheese Whiz?
Ew, isn't he the guy who eats like a whole, like he's claimed he was on a diet, ate a whole pizza as well as like a bag of McDonald's all in his one shift?
That was my
Good
boss.
lord.
Yes, but that's not the guy drinking the Cheese Whiz.
Oh no, different guy.
So I
What
can't
kind
believe
of
I never
fucking
told you
people
about
do you work with?
Oh yeah, no, this is his other job.
Yeah, this is the other job where
This
no
is
one
back in the
believed me
prison
he
again.
drank Cheese Whiz, and then they all started seeing it and calling me about it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god. Okay, all right, let's hear it.
Podcast slowly thinking like, nah, this shit ain't real.
I'm
Come
losing
on.
my sanity over these over the people you work with. That's my problem.
Oh my god.
So, I used to know this cat. He was a big fat fucker, man. And the sad part is, this guy wasn't always as such. He used to be built like a wrestler, man. In fact, I looked up pictures of him in Venezuela and Brazil. He had a mansion. He had
Oh.
strippers all around. This guy lived the life. He lost everything in some kind of revolution over there, and he came to America to escape all that, an actual refugee of warfare. And he became security and just got fat, looked like 30 pounds of shit and 20-pound sack.
Oh god.
So, but he was a big fucker though. He was like 7 feet tall, man. Just some big fucking dude, you know. But he actually got me to do an album cover for him, believe it or not. And I drew an album cover for him, and he made music. Well, he also drank squeeze cheese.
I didn't know you worked for Big Pun.
So, God, we're sitting there and we're sitting there and we're chatting at work one time. This guy smelled weird too, man. He smelled like fucking garlic. It was terrible.
Ooh.
And I remember one time he gets out of the car and the mobile patrol thing, like I was telling you, he gets out of there and this dude dude, oh my God, the seat was soaked through with the sweat. It smelled like you know what a cheap pizzeria smells like?
Yep. Yep.
That real strong garlic smell because there's no flavor. It's just all garlic and red sauce, you know?
Yeah.
That's what he smelled like.
Oh, Jesus Christ. How do you not smell yourself?
I
You
don't
get used
fucking
to it.
know.
You don't
Get
know.
used to it, like a
You
defense
get used to your own BO and you just get desensitized to it.
So he smelled like the ass end of a wet moose. It was terrible, bro. And when he got out, I was like, oh my God. And he's like, hey man, I gotta take a drink. Give me a second. I'll get my stuff out of the car. Let me get some drink real fast. So I'm like, bro, I'm gonna get your shit out the car, man. So he reaches into his bag, his little backpack deal, and he pulls out what I think is like a tea, a lemonade, soda. Fucking, I hope it's a water.
A normal drink, like just a normal ass drink that normal people should drink.
Yes. No word of a lie. When I turn around, I'll never forget this as long as I live. I turn around, I hear this sound, and the only sound that I could think of is when in Ninja Scroll, Gemma rips that ninja's arms off and he's drinking the blood. And he's like,
Oh.
that sound is the sound he's making. And I turn around real slow and I'm like, what the fuck? And he's got this yellow bottle that he's squeezing into his fucking face hole. He is literally drinking squeeze cheese. And I stood there for a minute and I was like, does this motherfucker sweat Crisco? What the fuck is going on?
I mean, from the way you described it, he even had the fat voice too.
Oh yeah. No, I'm not like when I do that, man, that's about the way he fucking sounded. So this dude drinks like half a bottle of squeeze cheese and he caps it and he wipes his mouth like, oh yeah, that's the spot. So I'm gonna get my stuff out the car and go inside. I'll see you later, man. So when I go inside later on, I'm telling people, I'm like, watch this dude, man. He drinks fucking squeeze cheese. They're like, come on, man, you just fucking hating on this dude. Come on, you just hating on this dude. I'm like, no, man, he's drinking goddamn squeeze cheese. This dude's gonna die next week. So we fast forward about 2 days later, and everyone's calling me a liar and all that. This woman we worked with, I'm gonna just call her Mrs. A. Right? Miss A calls me. Ring, ring. She says, get your ass in this office. I gotta tell you something. All right. So I leave the hallway and I go off into where she's at. I'm trying not to say my last name right now, but she was like, Skorn, you have to see this shit. He's doing it. And I was like, what are you talking about? I look at the camera and sure enough, he's on camera in a particular part and he's got the bottle of squeeze cheese. He's looking around and he's just putting it in his mouth and squeezing. Drinking that shit. She was like, I can't believe it. This man's drinking goddamn squeeze cheese. What the fuck? And I was like, I told you. I told all of you. You guys didn't believe me. She started calling people, telling us the gospel truth. And then after that, other people started seeing it too. People were apologizing to me, talking about, bro, I didn't believe you. I'm sorry. This motherfucker was drinking squeeze cheese. He was not only drinking squeeze cheese, he was drinking Colby jalapeno squeeze cheese. And it wasn't like the good craft shit. It wasn't like the craft shit. It was the dollar rainbow, like, bullshit cheese shit.
Cheese that's not actually cheese. It's actually closer to plastic.
Yes. That's the shit that he was drinking.
Ugh.
Fucking disgusting. Because
Do you want to hear the epilogue? I can
Yes.
tell you how he ended up.
Yes.
He had several heart attacks,
Not
lost
surprising.
his wife, lost his legs. Now he's in a wheelchair, fatter than ever, and I believe he still drinks squeeze cheese.
At what point do you think, man, maybe I should change my life up a little bit?
I ate 4 pieces of pizza today, and I feel like a fat piece of shit. I don't know. That's my limit.
I feel like a fatty.
Limit found.
Limit
There
found.
it is.
Yo, as long as your limit ain't fucking drinking squeeze cheese, man. God damn.
And not just like one and then realizing what you've done. Now, I say that being a person to have drank a whole bottle of blueberry syrup one time.
How did that end up?
How do you think it ended up?
How
It looked
bright
like he,
green was your shit?
It came out as fuzzy green shit.
Yeah.
I was about to say either that or it looks like he gave Papa Smurf a blowjob and he was a spitter.
So the reason I drank it, by the way, it wasn't because I have like some eating disorder or whatever. Like, I want that to be clear. No, I drank it because it was basically like a dare, and I just wanted to be right, and so I drank a whole thing of blueberry fucking syrup, and I almost died.
I mean, come on, you can't tell me that you've never got shit-faced drunk and then looked at something and be like, I wonder what that tastes like just by itself.
Oh yeah, no,
Oh, yeah.
no,
Cool.
yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah.
I ate what was it, man? It was 2-day-old biscuits and gravy.
Oh no.
Fuck is this? Hold
Man,
on.
why? I always hate that whenever I hop in the Discord or something, there's always some form of food talk.
I mean, it's gotta be.
I'm like, you son of a bitches. Like, I work during the day. I can't just go home and make me food.
Oh.
Number one, do you know why there's food talk? Why I keep bringing food up in conversations, and like why I do like dragging, why I wanted a food section.
Why?
It is kind of an Asian thing.
Okay.
When Asians get together, like a family or whatever, when they do like a family dinner or whatever, they'll do like a spread. They'll put all the food around the table, and they'll put like the meat like in the middle of the table, and everybody gets a rice bowl, and everybody, like, all the stuff is everywhere. Now what that does is it draws people around the table, and you have to tell people to pass you things. It's a way of forcing conversation because they're centered around that kind of family unit at the table.
Okay.
Food
Okay.
is something everybody has in common. Everybody has to eat.
That's right. Everybody eats. Everybody talks about food, and food gets people talking. Food is an important thing, and that's why a lot of Japanese cartoons, you'll see them always eating the rice or see them eating stuff, that they have a lot of food-centric stuff. It's because that's ingrained in their culture as being an icebreaker or a conversation starter or just, kinship. And that's why I do it too. And I have a lot of food stories because, like, fuck, they're funny as shit. The cheese one is not a food story. That's a food story of just holy shit.
Why is it always anime always makes food look delicious as fuck?
God, because the Japanese, the Asian cats, man, they make some of the best looking fucking food, man. And it's because they believe in an artistic display of what they're making. To them, it's not really art, though. To them, it's just making it look presentable and attractive, so you'll, like, be hungry or whatever.
I'm hungry when I see it. Like, it looks presentable.
You're American, though. I mean, you can put like a plate of hot brown out there, and you're going to be down.
Well, there's a reason I call myself a human trash can. Like, it's not just a fucking name.
I didn't. Have you ever done food challenges before?
You know what? Probably in my like younger years, I could have killed them, but now, not so much.
Oh no, now I wouldn't do that shit anymore. Now, when I did them, I had like heart palpitations. I had a fucking, what's the hole in your stomach called?
Like an ulcer.
Yeah, ulcers. I had ulcers from the hot sauce. Several of my buddies had to go to the hospital. I almost killed like 3 people. It was, yeah, those fucking food challenges can actually kill you.
That's why there's the thing on the box. Like,
Yeah, let me reiterate that. Don't start eating hot shit unless you really know what the fuck you're doing. We almost, yeah, we sent an old man to the hospital on accident one time. I had to pry a door off the wall to save his life.
Good Lord.
Oh my God. God, I am a terrible.
This is why I like doing stuff like this, because you meet people like me meeting you guys, and there's so many different stories and so many different viewpoints that it's always interesting to have a conversation and just not worry about anybody judging, but just telling stories of stupid shit you've done in your life. Because people are going to laugh, or they're going to be like, oh my God, is he retarded?
Yes. The answer is yes.
we lived, you know, that's the thing. Like,
oh
yeah.
Not under a rock, that's for sure.
A lot of people don't, I don't think that they know what it's like to have a life. I don't think a lot of people know what it's like to risk, is what it is.
Oh, no, because they're afraid they're going to get hurt. But, you know, you got people like us where it's like okay, fine. Like, okay.
Getting hurt, I could die.
Yeah.
Getting hurt would be second place. Here we go.
Yeah, it's like, I'm not afraid. Like, I have a story to tell after this. Come on now.
But that's what separated one generation from the next, though. You know, like, and it's not. I get that people do stupid internet challenges, but we never did anything too ridiculous. You know, there was always some kind of levity, you know, that was weighing that situation down. Like, I never jumped in a shower with lighter fluid, set myself on fire, and recorded it.
No, we didn't do it for the views. We didn't do it for the views. We did it for the what happens when we do this, you know? Well,
yeah, that's the thing, is like, we never did it for a camera.
No.
You know what I mean? I think society, and this kind of gets into a different conversation, but fuck it, I'll take us there. I think society has progressively gotten stupider and lazier ever since the fucking what was the GoPro? Ever since the GoPro came out. If you remember the first viral video, does anybody remember the first viral video? Because I do.
Oh, first viral. I thought you were talking about the first YouTube video. Never mind.
No. First YouTube video was a zoo.
I know. I love that. I love that the first YouTube video was just a guy at a zoo.
So awesome. the first viral video ever was a guy. I believe he was riding down a mountainside, recording it, and he just took a header and rolled down this fucking mountainside.
Oh yeah.
That was the first video that really went viral ever.
He biffed his shit hard.
He biffed his shit. And what happened was that was the call to the wild. That was the signal. That was the birth of the stupid generation. The generation that tried to emulate Jackass. The generation who wanted to jump farther and hit their head harder, as I like to say.
That same generation, though, was the start of the No Child Left Behind. So it was a lot of like hand holding and school just going, yeah, just pass them, get them the fuck out of here. They're old enough, get them out.
After they bounced off the concrete once or twice from shopping cart jousting, yeah, passing them out of here. They're fucking retarded at this point.
Hey, okay, don't. Shopping cart jousting is fun sometimes. Come on now.
Oh my God.
No, but here's
wait. Which foam hair were you wearing? Because we wore the foam hair helmets.
Oh no, we did no helmets. No helmets.
No, it wasn't a helmet though, but it was like you're in those like foam wigs where it was like the piece of styrofoam that was shaped like hair.
Yep.
Yeah, I pink ponytail.
See, what cracks me up is you guys talk about the stupid generation, but that would technically be my generation.
I mean, how old are you?
26.
Yep.
Like every time you guys talk about this, I think you guys forget that I'm not that old.
Yeah.
But like I said before, it's not always you that the conversation's directed at.
No, I know. It's the generation thing that cracks me up because it's like that is my generation.
I live in the generation that supposedly doesn't know how to work electronics. And it is true. I've seen it, man. Even I don't have the best of luck with the shit. But I see myself compared to some of the other boomer types. And fuck, bro. They're fucking handicapped.
You're Albert fucking Einstein compared to that.
Yeah, I'm a golden god compared to these morons. Like, how do you get along?
I can use Google. Suck my dick.
It's like some of these motherfuckers can't post their fucking email. You know what I mean? Like, holy shit, how do you get a job? You know? It's so I totally get it. You're the exception to the rule, just like because I think that I'd be the exception to the rule in certain cases. I mean, I have a working Twitch at least.
Right. Well, but also the thing is, like I
working
never did,
is debatable.
Yeah. I was about to say I never did stupid things for views. I did them because I'm an idiot. There's a difference. It sounded fun.
Yeah, one has a camera there.
Yeah, exactly. I did it because it sounded fun. I don't care if people see it. All I know is I ran a shopping cart through an entire parking lot, and I only hit one car. So, haha.
Only one car.
Which fuck that minivan in the middle of nowhere at 2:00 in the morning.
I rode off the top. I rode off the top of a mountainside bank, and I fell, God, so far. I fell so far down that I was actually looking down at the tops of trees when I fell.
Oh, shit.
And I did not do it on purpose. I did it completely on accident. And it was one of the dumbest goddamn things I've ever done in my life. And I wish to God I would have recorded it because no one to this very day will believe me that it fucking happened. In Fort Leonard Wood, I grew up. There was this place out back of Post. If anyone wants to check it out, it's Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri. It's completely different now, but I'd like to check it out on a map to see what became of that back area. But there was like a back area that had what it was like the side of a mountain, basically. Huge, long trail that snaked up the side of one of those snake type mountains, right? And me and my friends had gone the back way, the rural back way, out in the middle of the fucking woods. We were riding our bikes, man. We rode all the way up this goddamn mountain. And we had gone to the school out there, the preschool out there. And we were like, you got to remember, like, this was an unused neighborhood is what it was. And so there were streets everywhere. And there were actually a few buildings out here that never got used. And the preschool was actually used for, like, storage. And there was, like, a church next to it that really wasn't used for shit. There was also, like, a warehouse out there that we broke into several times. And, like, some other shit out there that we did some. Anyway, so we're riding along. And I hit a fucking pothole. And I tried to do the whole pop a wheelie thing over the pothole. So I popped my front tire up, but I didn't get the back tire up. You know, you do the bunny hop thing?
Yeah.
I popped the front tire up, but I did not get the back tire up in time. So the back tire came up and hit me square on the fucking, like the seat hit me square on the fucking balls, which made me lurch forward, and I lost the grip of my handlebars. And when the bike hit, my face hit the fucking handlebar, the center portion of the handlebars. It knocked me unconscious, like on my feet. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Being knocked out while you're awake is like everything's in slur phase and it's coming at you like a Beastie Boys video. Everything's real slow and like, it's just fucking weird. And you're trying to get up, and all you can get out, you're trying to yell to your friends to help, and your bike is just going barreling towards the edge of this fucking cliff, and you're just like, in your head, you're like, hey, help, help, but all that's coming out is, And so I just went
Yeah.
right off. I went right off the fucking edge of this mountain, dude. And I remember like still being in slar phase when I went over the top, and I crashed through the top of a couple of trees and I hit the trail and I bounced off the bike, fell down another ledge
Oh, fuck.
and hit the fucking floor and was out. I was out, completely unconscious. And I woke up. I couldn't barely breathe. I remember I woke up and my friends were over me. They were like, "Are you all right? Are you all get him on the bike? We got to get him to the house. You all right?" And I was like, but in my head, I was like, "Oh, chaps, I'm good," you know. And they set me off a fucking bike, and they to their credit, man, they pulled my ass back to the fucking house, man. Turns out I gave myself a concussion.
No, really?
And when I was at the house, I remember being on the couch, and my mom was trying to keep me awake. My dad was trying to keep me awake. And that was it. I was out. I fell asleep. I was on that couch for like two whole days. Is what they told me. Yeah, I've done. My generation has done its fair amount of retarded shit too. Getting hurt was part of the deal, but we survived it. You know, we lived. We came out of that shit.
Well, you lived or you didn't, you know? Like,
Yeah, that's goddamn fact. You lived or you didn't.
mhm.
But
Scorn, have I ever told you my car surfing story?
Well, what?
My car surfing story.
No, this sounds interesting.
So me and an ex of mine went to my dad's to go see him, and my brother came over and he was fucking with me. So we hung out, and I went got in my car because I was getting ready to leave. He grabs a whole gallon of water and just dumps it all inside my car while I'm sitting in there. So, as one brother is ready to do, he gets ready to beat his ass. So my brother hops in his car, peels out of the driveway, and sit there, and I stand there and I jump on the not the hood, the hood of his car. And I got both hands like gripped on tight, and I say fucking gun it. 0 to 15 in 5 seconds makes a fucking complete stop, and I just go skidding all across the pavement.
Oh no.
And mind you, I didn't wear a belt at the time, and my pants came down. So I had rocks and dirt and gravel in my hand, on my arms, and technically on my pecker. So I had my girlfriend take me to the hospital, and I'm sitting there, palms open, like pants kind of just barely hanging on. And the lady says, "You're going to hate me for this, but we have to scrape the dirt and rocks out of your hands." And then I looked at her. I was like, "Ma'am, it's not just in my hands and my arms." She's like, "What do you mean?" This is like, "My pants kind of came down too." She looked me dead in the face and she said, "This is the stupidest fucking thing I have dealt with all day." And she asked me, she's like, "How this happened?" I said, I did some car surfing. She's like, "Now that's the stupidest fucking thing I've heard all day. You do not know pain until you have a woman grab your pecker, stretch it out, and scrape it with a brush thing." Yeah.
Some things you just want to die from.
That was one of it, because like it wasn't like a gentle hooker on a Friday night pole. No, it was
it's Brunhild is bad.
You got the Tuesday special. You got the Tuesday special, girl.
Wait, ma'am, thank you, ma'am. Jesus.
With the fucking gorilla mitts. But all right, it's getting late, and I do have to get up for work in the morning.
Oh my god, this is fun.
This was definitely fucking fun.
Yeah, it was. This was cool. We should do this again sometime.
Definitely.
Well, we all know a day where everybody's available, so.
Oh look, Mondays and Tuesdays. Weird.
Oh, look at that. Mondays and Tuesdays, I don't got to worry about getting the kids the next day. So,
Yay.
all right, I'm gonna throw your shit out there.
Fuck.
I feel that. I probably should not be up late, but I was having.
It's alright. You can have a moment.
Fuck's he? Oh.
He's shouting us out.
Yay.
Yay! You let me be myself.
Yay.
Hey, piggies.
What?
If you wanted to get with podcast or myself or you all in one place, where would you go?
Oh, that's easy. The Rage Pirates Discord.
The Rage Pirates Discord? What's that?
I can't with you.
God damn it, piggies! You were doing so well.
I
You
know,
had-
but
you
I
just-
can't. I'm
you
too
had to-
drunk.
You had to keep your customer service voice going for like 2 more minutes.
I'm sorry, and it hurt. I can only keep Adderall Barbie on for so long.
I know.
Adderall.
I know it's hard to keep the public here. So I will take Piggy's space. Scorn, can you like pitch me the ball here?
Podcast. If I wanted to talk to you or to Piggies or this Skornered guy who sounds like a real swell dude, where would I go to do that at?
Well, Scorn, I'm glad you asked me. You could go to the Rage Pirates Discord and that funny little link right there in the chat. Right there, we believe in freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and we will never ostracize you because of an opinion you may have, as stupid as it is. Click on that funny little link. Come in there. Tell us we're good streamers. Tell us we need new shoes, or tell us that you just want to kiss us sexually on the mouth. Either way, join in. We got a lot of cool shit coming up in the next couple months. So why don't you click on there and come join the Rage Pirates and have a fucking blast while we plunder booty and you can touch ours.
That was
That happened.
What? Oh.
It's great. F and chat.
What was it? What was it not?
Glorious.
Did-
that is the most beautiful thing that I've ever heard in my life.
You can't like silent that because I was like, oh shit, did I royally just
Don't
fuck up?
ask. Don't ask what the pussy can do for you. Ask what you can do. Pussy.
Yeah, I was worried. Scored. I was worried for a second. I was like, wait, did I just royally fuck that up? Did I just piss them off?
You made me stand up, boy. You made me fucking salute you just now. I put my hand over my heart. That was beautiful. I'm gonna clip
What can
that
I
shit.
say? I know how to run my mouth. They don't call me the podcast daddy for nothing.
Oh my god, he's good with his mouth.
Oh, that's why every ex I had came back to me.